Hey Earthlings! Today we are taking a look at a new addition to the already popular Acer Nitro lineup with the Acer Nitro 16, which was released back in February of 2023. Acer claims this is a bigger and a better version of the existing Acer Nitro 5 lineup, but does it have what it takes to be crowned the new budget king? Stick around and let's find out. Also, this video might be helpful to you if you plan on switching from the existing Acer Nitro 5. Now let's get into the video. The first thing I noticed is the new look of the box that the Acer Nitro 16 came in. I must say I'm actually digging this look. Here is the Acer Nitro 5's box for comparison. This laptop comes with an AMD Ryzen 7 7840HS CPU, a QHD plus 165Hz screen, a 140W RTX 4060 8GB dedicated NVIDIA GPU, 16 GB of DDR5 RAM which is upgradable to a maximum of 64 GB, and a 1TB SSD which is also expandable. This laptop launched at $1,650 but currently goes for about $1,400 as seen on Acer's website. If you're in Nigeria and you're looking to buy this particular laptop or any other laptop of your choosing, you can hit me up because I'm your plug. In the box we have a 330W Chicony charger. For those who don't know, Chicony is a very popular third-party charger manufacturer. Then you have your usual paperwork and the laptop itself. Very clean and straight to the point packaging, just like the Acer Nitro 5. With that said, let's move on to the laptop, which is the star of the show itself. The Acer Nitro 16 comes in an obsidian black color which is entirely built from plastic, a common cost saving measure from the budget offerings. Nonetheless, it feels very solid and is built quite nicely. However, plastic is plastic as we all know, and plastic just doesn't give you that premium feeling that the aluminium on the MacBooks or the magnesium alloys on the Asus ROGs give you. Another downside to going with plastic is that it shows fingerprints very easily and would need frequent wipe downs. This laptop is 16-inch, which is a bit bigger than your regular 15-inch laptop. And what this means is that you get the familiar feeling of the 15-inch laptop, but you get some added benefits of the bigger 16-inch chassis. With benefits like the larger screen, it almost feels like you're getting more than you paid for. This laptop weighs 2.8 kg, which is decent for a 16-inch laptop. To put into perspective, the last Acer Nitro 5 which I reviewed was a 15-inch laptop, which weighed roughly around 3.8 kilograms. So I do appreciate the reduced weight on this laptop, which makes it a bit more viable to carry around. I can remember a few years ago, one thing that used to deter me a lot from 17-inch laptops were their weight. And if you weren't strong enough, you might have had to go around explaining to people what exactly broke your back. The design on the Acer Nitro 16 is very similar to that on the Acer Nitro 5, still keeping the gamery and flashy vibes, although there are a couple of changes which some might consider an upgrade. On the top lid, we have a slightly tweaked look with an iridescent N logo in the middle, as opposed to the ordinary black lettering that was on the previous Acer Nitro 5, along with a different type of strip pattern, a bit simpler and also carrying the Acer Nitro logo. The back grille has also been redesigned and looks cleaner in my opinion. Beneath the laptop, you have a large intake vent housing 2 fans which suck air in, 4 rubber feet and 2 downward facing speakers. Before I tell you what I think about the speakers, here's how they sound. As you guys heard, those speakers are quite average at best, lacking bass and volume. Very similar to what we had on the previous Acer Nitro 5 models. And while you might get away with using them for casual music or movie watching in a very quiet environment, I still highly recommend that you use a pair of headphones if you're doing anything serious or you just pick up an external speaker. This laptop is actually easy and not so easy to take apart for those looking to upgrade or service their PCs down the line. With just about 11 screws holding the back in place, after which you might think you would easily get into the laptop. But no, you still have to pry the back apart, which requires a little bit of force and also some time, else you might end up breaking or damaging something on the inside. Now moving on to the ports. On the right you have 2 USB-A's, both being USB 3.2 Gen 2s. And on the left you have an Ethernet port, a USB-A, a micro SD card slot, which I would have actually preferred a regular size, and a headphone combo port. Then on the back you have the power connector, an HDMI 2.1 port and two USB-Cs, one being a USB 3.2 Gen 2 and the other being a USB 4, both supporting up to 65 watts of power delivery. And that is pretty much all on the outside of the Acer Nitro 16. Before we proceed, do hit the subscribe button and leave a like on the video. Also share this video to people who you think it might be helpful to. And what this does is help the channel grow by bringing this video to the attention of many more people. Opening up this laptop, the hinges feel pretty smooth and well refined, definitely better than the last Acer Nitro 5 that I reviewed. After getting this laptop open, I was pleasantly surprised by the screen, as Acer is known for including fast but not so color accurate screens in their Acer Nitro lineups. But this time they delivered a screen that is not only fast at 165Hz, but way more color accurate than any other Acer Nitro screens that I've reviewed on this channel, covering over 99% of the sRGB color space. And not to mention, this is also one of the brightest displays that I've ever seen on a gaming laptop of this price. And this in turn makes this laptop quite suitable for things like gaming, multimedia consumption, and even entry color reproduction work. One critical thing to note about this screen is that content produced for 16:9 aspect ratio screens are going to introduce black bars while trying to fill up that 16:10 aspect ratio screen that you have. But things like games that smartly scale will take full advantage of this 16:10 aspect ratio screen, and I must tell you, it looks absolutely incredible. Moving on, the keyboard on this feels very similar to that on the previous Acer Nitro 5, being a bit tactile and offering decent travel. The one thing that this keyboard excels at is its RGB. The colors it produces are very vibrant, being bright enough to use in any condition. The layout on this keyboard is pretty spacious, which might be a big W for those accountant bros out there that crunch numbers all day. Overall, I would say this keyboard is quite good for day-to-day use, but still remains a budget offering as we cannot place it in the same league as those keyboards that are found on more premium laptops. The trackpad is also a very similar story, offering very accurate and precise tracking and also some nice clicks. The trackpad is also a very similar story, offering a very accurate tracking and quite a nice click feedback. Although this trackpad being made from plastic instead of glass makes it feel a bit less premium, which by no means is a problem for day-to-day use, but I just have to point that out. Moving on, one thing the Acer Nitro lineups are very popular about is offering a very good value for money, or as some would call it, bang for buck, especially in terms of performance, which is why it is usually my go-to laptop to recommend to people who have limited amounts of money but are looking for a really powerful computer. Now let's check out how the Acer Nitro 16 performs and if it even lives up to the Acer Nitro stereotypes. As you can see, this laptop delivers incredible gaming performance, and I can also tell you that it also handles high-end tasks like video editing or 3D applications with ease, all while staying fairly cool to the touch. However, the fans can get pretty loud in performance or turbo mode. However, that shouldn't be much of an issue if you want to squeeze out a bit more performance and you have a headphone in hand. And if you aren't a fan of the noise, using this laptop on its balanced presets still provides you with plenty of power while remaining fairly inaudible. When it comes to battery life, I was also pleasantly surprised. The 90Wh 4-cell lithium battery in this laptop was delivering up to 8 hours on light tasks in my tests. And this is quite useful if you want to carry around your laptop for some work and you don't want to hug around the huge charger that it comes with. And also, I'm pretty sure with a few optimizations by turning down your refresh rate to 60Hz and reducing your screen brightness all the way down to like 40 to around 50%, you're going to get the claimed 10 hours that Acer said this laptop is able to achieve, thanks to the efficiency on the Ryzen CPU. Now come closer, let's talk about what I genuinely think about this laptop. I do really feel like this laptop is a worthy upgrade to the Acer Nitro 5 in many areas, and I genuinely do like a lot of things that come with this laptop, like the screen, the build quality, the performance, and most of all, the battery life. However, it is not all roses and sunshine. There are still a couple of areas in which this laptop still falls a bit short. But I do think that these flaws are one which people can genuinely live with, especially with the price point and the performance that this system delivers. And with that being said, I would like to know what you think about the Acer Nitro 16. What do you like about it and what don't you like about it? Now to sum it all up. The Acer Nitro 16 is a very solid all-round budget gaming laptop which has its own compromises. And if you're in the market looking for a very solid gaming laptop that puts out amazing performance and it's all-round good, I think that this is a very worthy fighter that you should consider. Do make sure to leave a like on the video if you have not, and do subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. See you in the next one. Peace out.